Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, March 25, 2023, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. This universe has billions of ways to keep us humble and fascinated all at the same time. Mike Person. Perhaps you may be thinking, exactly what is a spiritual path? And what are the secrets to walking it? Well, a spiritual path is not a linear line that one walks from A to B, but rather is an inward journey toward the full opening of your heart to divinity. This opening becomes deeper and more sacred with every step you're taking on the path. And even though some people believe that they're off path or someone else has taken a different path, we're all really on the same path. You cannot not be on the same path. You can only be on the same path. Now, it may look different for some people experiencing certain things, but it is the same path. And your spiritual path can only be found in this now moment. Can't be found in yesterday or tomorrow, only in the now. This seemingly ordinary moment of life. You can be focusing on anything moment to moment. Doesn't have to be spectacular, flamboyant, exciting, but it is moment to moment of this life where our most normal, boring experiences of the day exist, is overflowing with an extraordinary connection to the divine. When we dive fully into this moment, we see that the goal God source is always here, always now. The intelligence is available to every one of us, to you inside, the hard-coded Akashic information which is embedded in your DNA. Now, your spiritual path is totally unique to you. Every one of us has their own special relationship with divinity and what they need to open up to it. Even though two people may have the same religion or spiritual teacher, they cannot walk the same spiritual path. Your spiritual path is like a fingerprint that's unique just for you at this time in your journey. It cannot be duplicated or destroyed because you are always growing and spiritually evolving. To find a deeper connection to your spiritual path, explore this exercise. Let's begin with relaxing your entire body right now. And give yourself full permission to allow all your fears, anxieties, and worries in your life to fade away from your consciousness for the next 30 minutes. Now imagine your heart is opening up to the feeling, the softest, most gentle, loving, safe energy you can fathom. Devote yourselves to opening up your entire body to feeling the softest, sweetest, most healing energy in this universe that you can imagine. You'll need to be very sensitive and vulnerable to find this super squishy softness inside yourself. It takes a very deep listening and an eternal listening, which is willing to wait forever to these blissful feelings that come flooding in. Just take a moment and feel this in silence. Practice relaxing your entire body, opening yourself up receiving more of this super gentle energy until you feel yourself dissolving into it. When you give your whole heart and soul to this gentleness, it will create sensations of joy, peace, and sweetness about life. This simple exercise, practiced daily, can produce some of the greatest rewards you could ever imagine. You can easily access deeper levels of this gentleness by being more vulnerable, sensitive, and listening more closely to your body. The sensitivity is the key that opens the door to finding God. The receptivity allows your ego to surrender deeper, to experience the gentle, soft energy inside. As you live each day of your lives from this space, it will lead you to the ultimate destination, total freedom from suffering in this lifetime. Total freedom from suffering in this lifetime. You wake up from the dream and realize that the kingdom of God is always available within you. It simply takes 100% surrender to this light, gentle, spiritual essence that you already are. This place is a dream. Only a sleeper considers it real. Then death comes like dawn. You wake up laughing at what you thought was your grief roaming. If you don't feel any sensations of peace by focusing on this infinite source of gentleness, then you just need more time to relax and lubricate your spiritual machine. Meaning, your body-mind may be a bit stuck, rusty, or resistant to the spiritual sensitivity needed to absorb this gentleness. Just trust that whatever experience you're having with this exercise right now is the experience you need for now. Know that your soul is always on the right track and always following a higher plan. Your soul is devoted to a spiritual mission here and is always aligned with its highest spiritually awakened destiny, even if you don't feel it. Deep down inside, you, the sun, is always shining. Deep down inside, you, the sun, is always shining. You already are a powerful spiritual being. Your spiritual essence is not hard to find. It is always here now. It is forever shining, quietly, pulsating, with this super soft, gentle energy. It feels like pure light. This lightness is always happening, even while you're reading this. Feeling it is a matter of releasing all your resistance to it. We do not see things as they are. We see things as we are. Ultimately, you don't need any method, teaching, or person outside of you to access your spiritual nature. All that is needed is a deep relaxation into the source of what you already are. You decide when, where, and how you will let go of your stresses and drop deeper into feeling this experience of the divine. The spiritual essence of who you are is already awakened, conscious, bright, brilliant, powerful, and eternally free. You already are an infinite being, and your spiritual essence will live forever. You are already connected to the greatest source of divine love you can possibly imagine. If you cannot feel anything at all right now, it can also mean your subconscious mind has other priorities. It might be worried about something else in the background of your life, perhaps about money, relationships, health, etc. That is seemingly more important than your spiritual awakening. This preoccupation of the mind is what's blocking you from relaxing deeply into it. When the mind is without objective content, supreme enlightenment is achieved. Palapa. When the mind is without objective content, supreme enlightenment is achieved. This gentle spiritual light energy inside your being has a pure conscious quality. This quality of energy is what shows you your life purpose and brings meaning, richness, reverence for being alive. This purely conscious quality is guiding your life toward a deeply and eternally loving state of bliss, joy, and freedom, in which you can relax and enjoy resting in. This simple resting in your divine nature is truly the ultimate enjoyable experience in this life that everyone is seeking. When you come to the deepest core of your being, to your very source, you will know that you are God, Osho. A significant change in your everyday life will occur when you become more attuned to the subtle spiritual realms, when you choose to start feeling even more of this deep sensitivity to life. It will show more of itself. It's as if your whole life you were weaving a tapestry with normal, scratchy wool yarn, and then one day you switched to weaving strands of fiber that are as thin as a spider's web. Sensitivity to feeling this super subtle quality is the path that leads to bliss. It is the doorway to the divine and can only be found through deep saying yes to more sensitivity, lightness, and stillness. This deep stillness can only be accessed when there is nothing, absolutely nothing, agitating the mind. When there are no fears, anxieties, problems to solve, or mind-altering chemicals coursing through the brain. If you stop taking in any alcohol, meat, caffeine, nicotine, or mind-altering drugs of any kind, including white sugar, you will see your sensitivity to this lightness increase. These chemicals are flowing through your bloodstream. They create extra activity in your brain and don't allow you to fully relax into perfect stillness. The mind is busy working with the substance, cannot fully relax as it craves a clear or purified state of mind. This is why people who are deeply sincere about finding their spiritual path get into fasting and emptying out the body of everything it's chewing on. When the gut is empty for weeks, the mind becomes naturally empty, and you are naturally open to receiving this connection with God. What most people don't realize is that food is not just calories. It's information. It actually contains messages that communicate to every cell in the body. Dr. Mark Hyman. When we are trying to get somewhere better than here now, we miss the spiritual door to the deepest inner experience of our infinite being. Whenever we can naturally and organically relax fully into the here and now, we have the best chance at accessing this super subtle spiritual energy inside. The day on which we come to know the supreme consciousness within us, then the outside world will also appear to us like the expanse of the supreme consciousness, Osha. When you think about the idea that you are an infinite spiritual being who will never die, it can feel like you're turning on a flashlight and seeing a treasure chest of diamonds hidden in your closet. This little flashlight allows you to get a glimpse of your real nature. Yet, to truly receive the mind to perfect stillness, when you do this, you'll see that the greatest hidden treasure is not just in your bedroom closet. The entire foundation of your house is made of diamonds. In this divine stillness, you'll discover that you don't need to continue searching out there in the material world for material wealth, because you're sitting on $1 billion in diamonds. You are already that sacred holy being which you are seeking. It is only through this deep self-inquiry that you discover the real abundance, which is your spiritual path inside. Possession of material riches without inner peace is like dying of thirst while bathing in a lake. Possession of material riches without inner peace is like dying of thirst while bathing in a lake. Paramahansa Yogananda. The secret to living in a continuous spiritual experience all day long is all about allowing your ego, your identity, to surrender to innermost spiritual essence. Merge with all that is. This merging can feel like an absorption, where the drop of water is taken in by the ocean. The perpetual spiritual experience in this life seems to occur when there is a deep willingness to meet with God directly and communicate with the divine, whatever you are going through. It comes down to having total, radical honesty with yourself, being fearless and accepting your darkness and your light. This level of intense honesty typically happens when we are forced to face some darkness or experience intense emotional pain. This pain is what gives birth to the spiritual experience. By removing the veil the ego has pulled over our eyes, we naturally let go of our ego's grip on our lives and become completely surrendered to the will of God. By simply welcoming whatever deep emotional pain you can summon inside yourself, perhaps an old, forgotten childhood memory, you can use your pain to open up and access your spiritual connection with the divine. The pain we feel as humans is the compost needed to fertilize our awakening. Pain pushes us deeper into trust, to find healing and freedom from pain. It forces us to give up and connect with a higher power within. Each morning, we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. Buddha. Enlightenment. Each morning, we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. Not yesterday. Not tomorrow. The blissful effects of feeling your pain and letting it push you deeper into your spiritual essence are the secret to staying on the spiritual path, no matter what curveball life throws your way. It's good to know that some form of pain is always there, always available, and there is an eternal supply buried very deep inside. The signs that you have found your spiritual path are profound and obvious. Each moment of your day is an adventure with the divine. You have the natural urge to sing that sweetest song your heart is yearning to sing. You are completely free from worry and fear and live your life in complete devotion to love. You feel that you are truly cared for by the universe, constantly provided for and held in its loving embrace. You know your being is received by God with the greatest adoration and respect. You deeply honor humility and vulnerability as it creates the receptivity needed to form the spiritual bridge which allows you to feel this intimate connection with the outer world instead of separation from it. When you want nothing, seek nothing, expect nothing, then the supreme state will come to you uninvited and unexpected. Stop making use of your mind and see what happens. Let go of the idea that you are not aware of yourself as the ever-present, changeless, inexpressible reality. Just let go. Nisargadatta. One day, your life will flash before your eyes. Make sure that it's worth watching. You must find a place inside yourself where nothing is impossible. How does one truly know they're walking a spiritual path in this life? Well, it is that the main focus of their mind is not on the outer world, nor dealing with the issues of their inner world, yet on the realm which is beyond both. The spiritual world is a dimension to life that brings total peace to how you experience your outer world and inner world. It is connected to both worlds, yet it is born from a place that has transcended both worlds. This is why the spiritual path is so attractive and yields the most profound states of peace and happiness. When you are walking your spiritual path, nothing can faze you or shake you. The clamoring of drama of your inner and outer worlds is mere entertainment, a play on the spiritual stage in which real life is lived. We all are searching for ways to help this world and feel good about ourselves. Finding out what truly inspires us in this life is an essential key to taking a step each day on our spiritual paths. Just look at this world. In this word, look at this word, listen to it. Inspiration. And you see it stems from in spirit. Whatever brings deep inspiration to your life is going to elevate your consciousness and bring you closer to your spirit. The key here is learning what you need to let go of so that each experience in this life becomes a spiritual. I am strong because I have been weak. I am fearless because I have been afraid. I am wise because I have been foolish. If you think your spiritual path is a separate aspect from your real life, think again. Whenever someone is reserving the spiritual experience of their meditation practice, sitting with a teacher, or going for the Sunday morning church or temple service, you're missing out on the sacred temple that is within your being all day long. There is nothing that separates you from your spiritual path. It is hidden inside everything that your mind can conceive. When you bring infinite awareness and divine consciousness to any action, you're making space to include the spiritual connection in anything you can become. In a spiritual experience. When you bring infinite awareness and divine consciousness to any action, you're making space to include the spiritual connection, and anything you do can become a spiritual experience. Washing the dishes, going to a business meeting, checking your mail, being stuck in traffic, can all be deeply profound spiritual experiences. Simply being present to the divine consciousness inside you is where the spiritual path starts, continues, and ends. Thought is the sculptor who can create the person you want to be. Henry David Thoreau. Thought is the sculptor who can create the person you want to be. It is important to know that these secrets to finding your spiritual path are not secretive at all. Yet it's information that may simply be temporarily hidden from plain view. Perhaps the greatest secret, which is most hidden from this world, is knowing that ultimately you are the God source, the sole creator of your reality. You define what is real and true and what is false. You decide what is right and wrong and good and bad. Don't take stuff so seriously. If you say that something is sacred, then it is sacred, and that's that. If you decide that making love with your beloved is the easiest path to entering a spiritual experience, then that manifests as the reality for you. By owning the fact that your thoughts create your reality, you could simply say, I am ready, I am already on the most perfect spiritual path and heading towards the life of my dreams. This moment, the moment you believe it, then it is so. I am already on the most perfect spiritual path and heading towards the life of my dreams. The moment you believe it, then it is so. Often it happens that we are tested by this life to go deeper into our spiritual nature, grow beyond our current level of spiritual evolution. This is that time in our lives when we feel stuck, lost, confused, or simply frustrated by everything. When this occurs for you, any insight, revelation, or answer that you're looking for can be found by getting very quiet and still inside. And perfect stillness and having infinite patience to get there, you become absorbed by the greatest totality of existence. You merge with this entire universe, become absorbed by God, realize on a very visceral level that you are the God source itself. You know without a doubt that each drop of water contains the vital essence of the entire ocean. When you look into space, seeing stops. Likewise, when mind looks at mind, the flow of thinking stops. And you come to the deepest awakening. Come up. Letting the God source into your heart has many definitions. One is the divine absorption. It is what happens when the little me, who is struggling to get their huge needs met, suddenly are liberated from suffering. Any feelings of lack, limitation, and smallness fade away as this absorption takes over. This experience is the deepest let go that you can handle. It's a total letting go of any attachment to the body, the mind, the thoughts, the attachment to the thoughts, the desires, dreams, and the yearning to change anything in this world. The absorption comes from relaxing into the stillness and letting everything be exactly as it is. This is one of the fastest approaches that you may find to find your feet are on the spiritual path. It instantly causes the mind to step out of any smaller pool it's stuck swimming in and into the vast ocean of consciousness, which is your basic nature. There are many different ways to access this spiritual essence, as your mind can imagine. If you are a super down-to-earth person who just cannot relate to anything, just take a good look back at your past and find the most potent, alive, and juicy experience of life, of this life, that you've ever had. Perhaps you got married, moved to a beautiful home, had a baby, suddenly discovered your life mission, or were simply mesmerized by a beautiful sunset. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean and a drop. Rumi. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean and a drop. Whatever your juiciest life moment was, there is a door inside it to access your spiritual connection. The secret here is to find the quality and feeling that it brings into your body and breathe into it. Any experience that opens your mind and heart at the same time falls into the realm of that which can open you up to a spiritual experience. Once you've found the quality of what a really good feeling is like in your body, the next question is, how can you feel deeper into that sensation and expand it throughout your day? Explore how you can continue to let it expand into your relationships, your conversations, and your life. By putting your attention on the deepest juice from the best feel-good memory of your life, you will open up new energetic doorways inside you and soon manifest the connection with a spiritual experience all day long. Perhaps the most enlightening part about discovering your spiritual journey is knowing that it cannot be done by the pure force of will alone. There must be a deeper level of surrender involved, where you are more interested in letting go than attaining. Your heart is open to having a conversation with God, and find yourself always opening yourself up. Opening, opening, opening to an energetic exchange with the divine. This opening is the key and golden secret to everything. So it's not about getting anything from the opening. It's what the opening sensation does to your life and the kind of life you tend to live. When you commit yourself to total opening, you'll find the most mundane and ordinary life experiences become the most divine and sacred. Remember, the moment-to-moment path of spiritual experience is the one we all long for and fear at the same time. We all want a feeling of oneness and deep relaxation in the body. Yet we have to let go of complete control to receive that experience. We all want deep peace, unstoppable confidence, and an invincible feeling of trust. Yet, we must choose to be able to sit in the fire of our greatest suffering and let it burn away everything. We must choose to be able to sit in the fire of our greatest suffering and let it burn away everything. This swinging between letting go and holding on is what naturally occurs for all beings walking the spiritual path. There is the ego who is desperately trying to get its needs met through its old habits of effort and struggle. And the soul who sits back, knows, trusts, and manifests instantly. The most enlightened path is to welcome both sides and simply choose to trust that the universe is listening, paying very close attention to your every thought and feeling. This allows you to feel close to God. Relax ever so deeply and find the most solid foundation that allows a daily spiritual experience to blossom. It is the most beautiful moment in one's life when there is neither confusion nor certainty. One simply is a mirror reflecting that which is, with no direction to go anywhere, with no idea of doing something, with no future, just utterly in the moment, tremendously in the moment. Osho. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and then easy and slow breath out of the mouth. You can search for lifetimes and discover that there is only one thing that satisfies the mind. This is finding your still, calm center. Inside stillness is a timeless, spacious energy that feels as if you could relax in safety for an eternity. To find this heavenly place inside for just a few minutes, you must completely detach from everything on the periphery, which means outside of you. This means your body, possessions, relationships, money, and the entire world. Let go of your attachments to everything and sit and rest in the core of. Discover what's there when the world is not there. You will soon find the deepest and richest treasure inside you. This profound stillness has always been there. When the mind finds stillness, you will truly be satisfied and feel how your soul is finally free. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, the following morning. We will return here Sunday, March 26, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with oneself at all times. Be in the deepest, deepest, deepest of eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what show is going on around you.